Oh man, that looks so good! Look at it! Oh, that's beautiful! Oh, look at the buttocks! So firm! You could almost say it's rock solid! Alright, so hello everyone, welcome to another Warframe video, and today we're gonna go over update 24.7, which in addition to adding a very sexy Atlas skin, also added 4 new augments. And we're gonna start it off with the most basic one, which is Pilfering Strangle, which gives enemies that are caught by Strangle a 65% chance to drop additional loot when killed. Now, I saw a lot of people downplay this augment because the bonus does not scale with power strength, so it's locked to 65%, and the number is also not as good as it is on Pilfering Swarm, which adds a 100% chance to drop additional loot for enemies that are grappled by the tentacles. And while that is true, I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be, because while the drop chance is definitely lower, you can have 2 stronger domes up at any given time, and they generally cover a much larger area and are more reliable than Hydroid's tentacles. And it also synergizes a lot better with Necros' Desecrate, because the tick damage on Strangle will always cut the enemy into parts unless they explode on death. So it's actually not too bad, and if you want to get it, you have to be the rank of General under the Steel Meridian or the rank of Exalted under the Red Veil, and it will cost you 25,000 standing to buy. Next up, we have Blinding Reeve for the Revenant, which makes it so that your Reeve will blind enemies for 10 seconds. And as you can see, the blind does not open the enemies up to finishers. Now this one I have a hard time understanding because of Mesmer Skin. Right? Mesmer Skin is this unrivaled form of mitigation that will protect you from everything. Someone could throw a planet at you and it will still only remove 1 stack. But more importantly, it will put any enemy that hits you to sleep. So the only real application that I found while playing with this augment was when you see a big group of enemies and you don't want them to instantly chunk your Mesmer Skin. You just dash through them, which blinds them, and then you can kill them. But even that is a bit of a stretch, so personally, not a big fan of this augment. But if you want to buy it anyway, or you have a better idea of how to use it, you can get it by being the rank of Genius under Cephal and Suda, or the rank of Partner under the Parent Sequence, and it will once again cost you 25,000 standing to buy. Next on the menu, we have Teeming Virulence for Nidus, which gives you a pretty chunky weapon crit buff when you hit at least 4 enemies with Virulence. Now this one is really good because the duration of the buff scales with power duration and the magnitude of the buff scales with power strength. So if you have a decent Nidus build, you can get a very crunchy weapon crit buff and keep it up essentially forever as long as you have enough enemies to stomp with Virulence. Now this one I really like, and not only because it's very strong, it adds a lot of crit chance to your gun, so if you take the right gun, you will do a lot of damage, but because it promotes a different kind of playstyle, because I don't know about you, but I don't use guns on Nidus too terribly much, because most of the time getting your stacks higher is the way to go, whereas with this, you stomp the enemies, then you get a nice crit buff, you can use that crit buff, then you stomp some more enemies, and you're still building stacks and you're taking advantage of what Nidus is good at, but you also get a reason to engage in some gunplay rather than just spamming Virulence forever and ever and ever. So if this augment sounds like your cup of tea, you can pick it up by being the rank of General under the Steel Meridian or the rank of Partner under the Parent Sequence, and it will once again cost 25,000 standing to buy. Or, and I probably should have mentioned this earlier, you can just buy it from other players. And the final augment we have on the menu today is the Dread Ward augment for Garuda's Dread Mirror. And what this one does is it will make you unkillable for 5 seconds if you kill an enemy with the Pounce from Dread Mirror. Now, a very important thing here, and probably my biggest gripe with this augment, is it makes you unkillable. Not invincible. You will still take damage, you just won't die. And that, in my opinion, even though you can increase the duration of the unkillability, let's just make that into a word, makes this so incredibly limiting and situational, you will basically never take advantage of it. Because the last thing you want to do when you're about to die and you need to prevent it now is to look around the battlefield for an enemy that's within the execute range of the Pounce, which is 40%. In that kind of situation, the better thing to do would be, I don't know, just pounce whatever and then turn the shield towards the thing that's trying to kill you so it doesn't. Now don't get me wrong, I actually like the idea of this augment because it kind of makes you aware of what's going on around you, but I think a different sort of benefit from actually executing the enemy would have worked far better than just being unkillable. If this gave you, I don't know, let's just say the chunky crit buff from the Nidus augment, it would have been way better than what it is now. But anyway, if you still want to get the Dread Ward augment, you can get it by being the rank of General under Steel Meridian or the rank of Exalted under Red Veil, and it will cost you 25,000 standing to buy. And that is pretty much all I wanted to say, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!